for the No Kings rally around the country. Yes, they did. To protest the policies of you-know-who. But it doesn't seem like you-know-who really got the message. Take a look.
What's your response to the protests over the weekend, the No Kings protests?
I think it's a joke. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Okay. So despite his claim that he doesn't want to be king, he also posted an AI video wearing a crown and dumping feces on protesters. A lot of Republicans claim that these are paid protesters and not real Americans exercising their rights to free speech and peaceful assembly. 7 million people. Nobody paid anybody. I mean, the only people getting paid are the people who are in government right now, because the government's shut down.
Well,
they're the only
Congress,
ones
yeah.
who are getting money. But nobody who is out there marching, people are pissed.
Yep.
They don't like what they're seeing.
Yeah.
And even people who are Republicans are saying, what the hell is going on? We don't like this. So the question, I guess, is, are the rallies going to have an impact, or are both sides just digging in?
Well, I was one of the 7 million who went out and protested and marched peacefully this week, and I went to the one here in Manhattan in New York. If I am going to get paid, I need to know where to send the invoice, because I went not to get paid. I went to pay my country back for everything she has given me, for being the place where I found freedom and refuge, and I want to defend those American values. And it feels really good to be in community, because I think there are so many people that are afraid. And it's a lot easier to speak out when you're not the only voice speaking out. So to feel the strength of numbers, the strength of Americans of all ages, all colors, all creeds, who just want one thing: to defend and stand up for democracy. But we need to channel this energy. All of these protests will mean nothing if we can't organize and channel this energy, not to the streets, not just to the streets, but also to the voting booths. And that's what we've got to do next year.
I agree with you. I mean, I think that Trump's reaction to the protests are evidence of the success of the protests, because he's saying it's so, he's very concerned about size, and especially crowd size. And he said it was very small, very, very small. I mean, 7 million people. It's actually the largest protest in modern American history. The largest.
Not tied to a war.
Yes.
Not tied to a war.
But what I was really struck by was how unpresidential he is. I mean, in responding to...
That's striking you now?
It's not striking me just now, but it was just striking to me that he is using profanity when he is speaking to the press corps, and an AI video of feces on United States citizens. Remember
coming from a president.
Coming from a president. Now, do you remember tan suit gate, when Obama wore the tan suit? I want to go back to those days. I think we have a clip from The Daily Show.
The president came out addressing reporters on Thursday, and he was wearing this tan suit. Tan suit, and how the tan suit made him look unpresidential.
Whoever talked him into going into a tan suit, they're so desperate because of these low poll numbers, they're willing to do anything.
Tan gate, tan suit. I want to go back to those days when we were concerned.
I didn't remember.
Yes, people were so concerned.
I was on Capitol Hill. Republicans, we were very angry about this.
Everyone was so angry about how unpresidential it was that Obama wore a tan suit.
It was part of it. I'm not sure.
Yes, there was a tan suit.
It was you've forgotten it, because we now all
we're desensitized.
We've desensitized. But there was a scandal during the Obama years.
I didn't pay attention to it. What was
he wore a tan suit?
That wasn't presidential enough. So now we have a president throwing feces on the American public and The Republicans are like, there's nothing to see here. I missed the word. We're shocked.
I think that's always a good thing when people are civically engaged. I think left, right, or center, if you're showing up, you're peacefully assembling, that's something I applaud. My question is, will this momentum turn into tangible organizing? That's the open question here, because there's some pretty glaring stats that I think Democrats have to kind of come to grips with. One is
how about everybody?
Everybody. That's because it goes for everyone.
Yeah.
Democrats are hemorrhaging voters. So Republicans gained 2.5 million voters in the last 4 years. Democrats lost 2.1 million. So they actually have a net loss of 4 million votes they have to gain. And in California, roughly this year, they've only registered 190 Democrats. 190.
What's the
GOP, I don't know, but the GOP got 66,000, which isn't huge. But this has to translate into organizing. We talk about what Trump's been doing. He's playing a 10-year game. He's at every level. He's got his people elected as state, school officials and school boards. They've got think tanks. They've got voter registration on college campuses. So a movement like this matters if it turns into something tangible and actually getting voters out, or it could fall flat like the Women's March. It was huge and it felt powerful, and then it kind of just petered out. So I'm curious to see what happens.
Well, I just want to say, I think the fact that the farmers are now out of their minds with anger because he bailed out Argentina, who is now selling their soybeans to China, who our farmers used to sell to. Now our farmers don't have any place to sell their soybeans. They're pissed. I think the fact that we are dropping bombs and saying, well, we think they're drug dealers.
Yes.
We think that's who it is. I think that what this entails is if people are angry, that they stay angry on their way to vote, because this is not a left-right problem. This is is this the country you want? You want to be accused of bombing people? You don't. When they say we're not sure but we believe it's. No, you need to know before you drop the bomb.
And
kill 26 people. I think people